Men, what's the worst threat you had to protect your girlfriend from? My girlfriend Amaya started leaving our bed at 3 a.m. every single night, and I was convinced she was cheating on me. It started about 2 months ago when I woke up to use the bathroom, and her side of the bed was empty. Cold sheets meant she'd been gone a while. I found her sitting in the dark living room typing frantically on her phone. When I asked what she was doing, she practically jumped out of her skin and quickly locked the screen. Just couldn't sleep. Work stuff. But Amaya worked at a bakery. What bakery emergency happens at 3 a.m. when they don't even open until 7? The next few weeks got worse. She changed her phone passcode, which she'd never done in our 3 years together. She'd angle her screen away whenever she got a text. Her phone would buzz constantly during dinner, and she'd glance at it with this worried expression before flipping it face down. Classic cheating behavior according to every Reddit post I'd ever read. I started noticing other things too. She was exhausted all the time and falling asleep during movies we used to love watching together. Dark circles appeared under her eyes that no amount of concealer could hide. She'd zone out during conversations, and I'd have to repeat myself multiple times. When I suggested she see a doctor, she brushed me off, saying it was just stress from the upcoming holiday rush at work. Then came the credit card charges. Small amounts at first to Western Union, $20 here, $50 there. When I asked about them, she said she was helping a coworker whose family was struggling, but the charges kept getting bigger. $100, $200. Our joint savings account that we'd been building for a house down payment started shrinking. One night I pretended to be asleep when she got up. I heard her grab her laptop and tiptoe to the living room. After waiting 5 minutes, I crept down the hallway and peered around the corner. She was video chatting with someone and speaking in broken Spanish. Amaya barely knew enough Spanish to order tacos. Por favor, no more money. I can't. A man's voice responded in English with a heavy accent. You know what happens if you stop. I have friends everywhere. They know where you live, where your boyfriend works. My blood ran cold. This wasn't an affair. This was something much worse. I went back to bed and lay there with my heart pounding. The next day, while Amaya was at work, I did something I'd never done before. I went through her laptop. Her email was still logged in, and I found a folder labeled Joel. The emails went back 15 years. Amaya had a pen pal from Colombia when she was 12 through some school program. They'd written letters back and forth for years and apparently fallen in love the way kids do. The emails showed they'd reconnected 2 months ago when he found her on Facebook. At first, the messages were innocent, catching up on life, sharing photos of how they'd grown up. But then Joel started getting intense. He said he'd never stopped loving her, that she was his soulmate, that fate brought them back together. Amaya tried to tell him she was happy with me, but he wouldn't accept it. The emails got darker. Joel claimed he worked for dangerous people in Bogota. He sent photos of guns and stacks of cash. He said his associates had contacts in our city who could make problems for us. He demanded money, or he'd send these people after me. The threats escalated every week, but here's where it got truly insane. I found Joel's Facebook profile and did some digging. This guy who claimed to be a dangerous criminal was actually a middle school teacher, married with 3 kids. His wife's profile was full of happy family photos at the beach. His dangerous associates were probably his fellow teachers. The final email thread made everything clear. Joel wasn't even trying to extort money for the cartel. He wanted Amaya to buy him plane tickets to come visit and peg him. He was convinced she'd fall in love with him in person and leave me. The money transfers were him slowly getting enough for a round-trip ticket from Colombia. He was literally scamming my girlfriend to fund an affair attempt. I confronted Amaya that night with everything I'd found. She broke down sobbing and told me the whole story. How he'd convinced her he was connected to dangerous people. How she was terrified he'd hurt me. How she'd been learning Spanish on Duolingo at 3 a.m. to better understand his threats. We went to the police together the next morning. Turns out international blackmail is a serious crime, even in Colombia. They contacted authorities there who arrested Joel at his school. His wife found out everything. He lost his job and faced 5 years in prison.